Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Liu, and welcome to The Bridge. The Bridge is a video podcast where I interview and feature women identifying non binary and gender expansive people who play jazz. Today, as my guest, I have the amazing Cait Jones, who is a jazz singer and visual artist, and I'm going to bring her on right now. Hey, Cait.
Hey everyone. Hi Lisa.
Hey, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for hosting.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, how did you get started playing jazz?
So I started as a little kid listening to first musical theater. My stepfather is a librettist, and I was around it a lot. My dad also sings. But I think I really got into jazz through Ella Fitzgerald. My mom had a collection of her recordings that I would listen to and dance along to, and I would put on costumes, and I would sing along to Ella in my room, and I was like, this is a secret thing I do that nobody knows about. I could never have imagined that I would end up bringing it into a career. So, to all those secret things that you think nobody knows about, sometimes they can turn it into your passion and your job.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You also swing dance as well. So how does that play into your love of jazz and also as a singer?
Uh, well, I got into the jazz community through the dance
Oh,
community.
cool.
I was very shy, and I went to swing dancing because I loved the music. And I loved the attitude that swing dancing is just fun, and if you make a mistake, you laugh. Where when I did tango, it was much more, serious and passionate, and I felt like way out of my depth as a 15-year-old. And the swing dancing, like I started to go to bars once I got out of college and realized like, oh, there's people who play this music. And there are places where I can sing this music. And I had such a reverence for the musicians. And I just started to follow where they went and went to a jam session that my friends took me to called Mona's, and sat in. And I was like, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever done. I have to do this every week forevermore. So I showed up and started doing it.
I love that. I love that how you were, it was terrifying for you, but you knew that you still had to do it. And that's how you get better, right? It's just like even though you're terrified, the more you do it, the more relaxed you become, and that's how you get better.
Yeah, and that's how you know that it matters. When something like affects you that much, it feels really important. It means you're invested. You care about it. You care how you sound. You care how you perform, and all of those things contribute to you wanting to do it better, to engage more. If I didn't care at all, then I just wouldn't have kept trying. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what is caring? What is practice? What does that look like to you? How do you work on your craft?
I think it starts with listening for me. I love to find a new song or a new singer who inspires me. And it's so exciting when that happens because I will try and find everything they've done and the songs that I think they cover really well. I'll discover new songs that way, and then I'll look up other artists who have performed that song. Um, and then I start to build from there. Well, what's my version? How do I want to sing this? And I'll practice at home, either with a guitar. I'll just get a chart and play some basic comping along with myself. I use iReal, the app, and I'll just play that along and sing it through, try and do it the way I heard it, or try and improvise my own on top of it. But I always start with a strong melody, a song that I really connect with.
That's amazing. Can you talk about the song that you're connected to right now that really excites you and inspires you?
Yeah. Smoke rings.
I'm sorry, say that again one more time.
Smoke rings.
Oh, okay. Who's that by?
Ooh, that's a good question. I should know.
How did you hear it?
Uh,
How did you discover it?
I discovered it trying to think, it was a little while ago. I think it was playing in a movie, but I'm not sure. Maybe it came up on a playlist, or somebody else I know was performing it. But I just started to explore it. I thought it was so beautiful. The story of it just kind of reminds me of this tone, the time, but also the tone of this time. Where do they go that the smoke rings like blow each night? And it's slow and it's beautiful and playful. Yeah, I love
that's
it.
amazing. I'm gonna have to check it out after the show. So, what's really exciting is that you have a new album coming out called "I Love Being Here with You." Can we talk about your new album, such as what were you looking for in your musicians? How did you come up with the arrangements? And what was rehearsing and recording this new album like?
Yeah. So I wanted to make an album as I've gotten better at singing and thinking more specifically about how I wanted to accentuate my version of the song. It was really fun to bring it to Mary Wilson, the arranger, and a good friend. I wanted to work with somebody who I'm close with, who I could really like, I want this and this feeling and this sound, and like this part is totally open-ended to whatever you want to do. And to build off of that. So I picked the songs that I was excited about, that I had distinct ideas about. I stuck with Name of Love because that's a really fun and exciting thing for me to sing about since I got married relatively recently. Still feels recent. It's been 3 years. And in terms of picking musicians, I wanted a really good vibe. It's all about playing with people who make you feel good, and that's the number one. There are amazing musicians, but if they make you feel good, then you're going to be your best, and they'll be their best if everybody feels good. And so I really plotted out who I picked. I wanted it to be a mix of not just men, so I really enjoyed picking from the women identifying musicians that I've met, and had a lot of fun with it. We did a couple rehearsals. We were able to pick pieces, and everybody had some input and ideas. It was really fun.
That's great. That's amazing. I just want to show a picture of the full band really quick. There we go. Can you introduce these people? Who are these people in the band?
Absolutely. So starting from left to right, we have Rob Garcia on drums, Jocelyn Gould on guitar. That's me. Mickey Yamanaka, who played the piano. And then we have Finn on the bass, and Danny on the trumpet, Danny Yamaguchi. And then Michael Hashim on the saxophone. And that's Marielle Wilson on the trombone. And she did arrangements and music direction.
Wow, that's super incredible. I just want to show a cover of the album. Oh, actually, that's you and singing in the recording booth. But here is the cover of the album. Cait and the Critters, I Love Being Here with You. And what do you think about us playing one of the tracks from one of your from the album right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great. So, can you introduce this track?
Sure thing. Can you remind me what it is?
Right, No Moon at All.
Thank you.
Yeah. And just tell what's the backstory for this? Why did you pick this one, and what was the arrangement like and all that?
So I love this song. There is an amazing version by Mel Torme that really inspired me. Although there are tons of amazing versions of this song, I think of it as this serious and exciting. I love the lyrics. I love the story. I really wanted to build the energy of the song, like if it were a graph. I could kind of picture it starting out really low and then the excitement. I imagine myself in like one of those parking lots that are in movies in the 50s where couples are making out, and you're sitting in a convertible and you're looking around and you don't see the moon, and it's really quiet. It's just this other person. So that tension, that excitement about it. And I think Marielle did a really great job helping me tell that story.
Amazing. I love this track, so let's go ahead and play it. No moon at all.
No moon at all. What a night. Even lightning bugs have dimmed their light. Stars have disappeared from sight. There's no moon at all. Hush, don't make a sound. It's so dark. Even Fido is afraid to bark. What a perfect chance to park. There's no moon at all. Should we want atmosphere for inspiration, dear? One kiss will make it clear. The night is bright, the bright moonlight might interfere. No moon at all. Up above. Why, this is nothing like they told us of. Oh, what a perfect chance for love. And there's no moon at all. No moon at all, what a night. Lightning bugs have dimmed their light. All the stars, they have disappeared. Don't make a sound, it's so very dark. Fido's afraid to bark. A perfect chance to park there is. Well, should we want atmosphere for inspiration, dear? One kiss will make it clear. The night is right and there's a bright moonlight. No moon at all. Up above. Why, this is nothing like they told us of. What a perfect chance for love, and there's no moon at all.
Oh my god. That was amazing. Whoa.
Oh, thank you. What a band.
Oh my god. So a burning question that I have of mine is how many takes does it take for you in the studio? Are you like Frank Sinatra, where it's like first take, best take, or are you like 2 or 3? Like what's generally your vibe when you're recording?
Yeah, it's definitely the second or third.
Okay.
I feel like we had to get one out of the way. Whatever it was needed to be worked out, and then we nailed it. Consistently, it was take 2 or 3.
Wow. That's awesome. That's how I feel too. You know, it's like first take, get the jitters out, and then the second or third one, that's when I nail it. And then like beyond that, like I blow my wad.
Totally. Yeah, you just can't do too much. I think it's a careful balance with rehearsals too. You don't want to overdo it so that everyone comes in like, oh, I played this like 20 times in the last 3 days. Yeah. You know, so there's a balance of it, knowing where those hits are, knowing you reached it well, but still having some freshness and excitement for it.
Absolutely. That's great. Well, you definitely captured it on that track. And I've heard the album. I've been lucky enough to hear some early mixes, and it's a beautiful album. It's so well made. I'm so excited for you, and it's available.
Thank you.
It's available for pre-order right now, right? When is it actually coming out and being available to the public?
So it comes out officially on May 7th, but you can pre-order now and get 3 tunes, including No Moon at All, and 2 others at Bandcamp. Cait and the Critters, it's C-A-I-T, Cait.
Awesome. Great. Everyone, go and buy her album. You will not be disappointed.
Yes.
Yes. So another aspect that I'd love to talk about in your creativity is you are an amazing visual artist. How does music and art influence each other and vice versa, and just the totality of you as a person and as an artist?
Great question. I think it's so important for artists to be multifaceted. At least for me, this is a really big part of how I function. I grew up as an introvert. I still identify as an introvert, although as a performer, I've become much more extroverted. And what I really enjoy about creating art and creating music is that it provides me both opportunities. The art is very internal, personal. I can sit down and create something from beginning to end all by myself, where music is very collaborative. And sometimes I need both, right? Like when you're cycling with different seasons, you're happy to have the winter sometimes because then you can just be a hermit and not talk to anyone. And you can just like dig in your little hole of self-discovery. And then the spring comes and you're like, wow, I'm so excited to be outside and just doing things and not thinking about it. And that's how I cycle with my art. And the dancing plays into that too, which I think of as something very social, but it's a completely different expression of my creativity. It helps inform my dancing.
Really? How does that inform your dancing? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the way that music and dancing interact. I teach my students a lot of the time are swing dancers, and I'm always telling them like your footwork and what you do, it can be how you sing. And so when I practice dancing, I am singing as I dance. I'm thinking, how would I phrase this if I were singing it? And then I try and do that with my feet, as if I'm creating another melody through the rhythms of my feet, or the movements of my shoulders, or my arms, or my hips, whatever part of the body it is. And that really helps me because I'm thinking of swinging, I'm thinking of the time, but it kind of frees me up from the lyrics, which can sometimes lock you into a specific pattern within the music.
Oh, it's amazing. Wow. I mean, I love it. It just sounds like singing is such a full body experience for you. And then with all these different modalities, it's just like, you know, you can experience and incorporate these things in different ways. And that's super cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, I would love to show a few pieces of your work, and if you can comment on them or talk about it, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, happy to.
So the first one we have here is Kiksha. And this is an amazing piece. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Absolutely. I wanted to bring this in because it also speaks to where I started out. I worked at this wonderful coffee shop / bar that had the best grilled cheese sandwiches it was in Queens. And I was a barista there, and it's called the Kiksha. I did this experience map, and to explain an experience map, the idea is the people who commission it give me the content. And I create this world of all of these memories existing in one space together. So I am inspired by the surrealist movement. I'm inspired by other ballpoint pens, that's what I use for this one, artists that I've seen. And I love the way that different spaces can mold into each other, the way they do in dreams. So it's almost like a dreamscape. But this also holds a lot of memories for me about a time in my life when I was trying to get gigs, sitting in a jam sessions. I did get to sing at Kiksha, which I was so grateful for. That was one of the first gigs I was able to book. Thank you to the owners for supporting me always. And this was a treat to draw. But I do a lot of these times for anniversaries, birthdays, major life events, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow, that's super, super cool, Cait. I mean, I've been to the Queen Kiksha. I've played there, so I know it was an important part of the neighborhood where a lot of people got to play and perform, and the vibe there was so supportive. So I know how special a place that was in Astoria.
Yeah.
It
was for so many people, for so many creative people.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Can you please talk about this next piece called Spartacus?
Yes. So this is some album art for one of the singles that I did for my friend Cait new album, which is out today, Three-Part Invention. But it's part of a project that I've been doing of triangle paintings, is what I call them. It's really fun for me, as you've seen in my last art, I get super obsessive in details. And then it's fun to do something that's very relaxing, meditative, and abstract, which is what I think of with these triangle paintings. I don't really know where it started. They're watercolors. I started painting little triangles, and I was playing with size and scale, and I'm obsessed with circles, so I started to turn the triangles into circles. I love color, so I got to obsess with how to mix color in my palette. I love playing in this album series. I was playing with the primary colors and the secondary colors and triangles because it's an album that's a trio. So it's all about threes, 3 points on the triangle, 3 secondary colors, 3 primary colors. So I had a lot of fun playing with that. And of course, the complement of purple is yellow. And in the final piece, I use the primary color, which is the complement of all of the secondary colors. If that makes sense.
Oh, totally.
Anyway, super meditative. I make these when I'm like, oh, I really need to make art. I have that bit, but I don't want to think about it too much.
I hear you. I mean, it's so beautiful, and just to hear the backstory of it is super cool. And I can't believe you did this on watercolor, because your precision is like, it instills the fear of God in me. Like, holy cow. Great. Can we talk about bananas? Tell me about bananas.
Absolutely. So another fun project I came up with for myself. When I do bigger paintings, I have to cut it down to a specific size. And I'll end up sometimes with these strips of gorgeous watercolor paper that they're going to get recycled. And it occurred to me, I was like, well, this is big enough to be a cute little painting. What if I just did a series of cute little paintings? The other thing I'm obsessed with painting is fruit. I also am obsessed with eating fruit. I love fruit. And so I started to just collect fruit. It was an excuse to buy more and fruit. Obviously, I had bananas around the house. And I just set up a little still life on the table, put on a podcast, and painted it. So I've done a ton of these. They're for sale on kikshaart.com. I have a shop, and there's some paintings there. I update it pretty regularly with new ones, and you can just contact me through the site to purchase them. But yeah, I love painting fruit. Again, playing with color, playing with complements. We have the yellow and purple here too.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's amazing. And I love how you can, these are commission based, you know, that you're just like, you know, if you have an idea, hey, I would like some oranges, that you would paint some oranges too. So that's awesome.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
Very cool. So we've kind of talked about how you've been doing painting and making a lot of art during the pandemic. What are some other things that you've been doing for pandemic self-care, you know, just to get us through?
Yeah. A big thing for me has been stretching.
No.
And I'm not used to sitting so much. My lifestyle between being a barista and then being a performer, I was just on my feet a lot. And sitting a lot has definitely taken a toll on my body. And so my mentality about stretching switched from, oh, I should do this, to this, I have to because I'll feel like crap otherwise. So I just started a 30-minute day. First thing in the morning, I do stretching. Yoga videos specifically on YouTube. So nice. It's also good for my head, you know, because it puts me in a nice meditative state. And then I journal. So stretching and then journaling. So I kind of dig into releasing the body and then I release my mind. And I'll make a to-do list and kind of think about what needs to happen. But it's also an opportunity to check in and see how am I feeling today. And a lot of the time that can be really raw during this period. Luckily, I've had the art to lean on, but a big part of my identity has been taken away. I'm not singing as much as, or hardly at all, certainly performing. I get to sing on my own, but it's not the same as performing with musicians, which is why I sing. You know, as I said, the art is my introverted thing, not singing. That's an extroverted thing.
Absolutely. No, I hear you. And, you know, being a performer as well, that's taken a heavy toll. So any actions of self-care of just, you know, keeping the mind and body healthy are definitely welcome. How do you take care of your singing voice? I mean, you know, singing, like for me as a guitarist, it's just like, all right, I got to stretch my hands and keep them warm and loose. And there are some muscle exercises and massages I can do, but how do you take care of your voice?
Great question. I think the number one for me, even like if I have barely any time to warm up or I'm about to perform or even sometimes just waking up in the morning because it feels good, is lip trills. I did a bunch of those this morning, just playing octaves on the piano, and it just felt so good. So that's like the main thing. Honestly, a lot of days I find I'm not singing right now because it's not exciting to sing by myself. But when I do warm up, I do a bunch of playing on the piano and singing along. And my favorite is to get out the guitar and drum and play.
Awesome. Way to kill two birds with one stone, you know, working on your guitar chops too.
Yeah, it's really helpful. I mean, it adds a different element of the music. The tricky thing is I tend to do this as so I also need to focus on just the singing part, which I do, because there's a completely different posture when you don't have a heavy guitar.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had the great honor to play with you many times, and I've watched you as a singer, and you have like one of the best postures I've seen. You stand so straight, and I'm like, wow, you can kind of see and envision the air moving through you, and I totally understand that posture is a very important thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think about it a lot. I think about the air coming through my feet and then out the top of my head.
That's a great visualization. That's awesome. So we've, the time we're in has been very fraught. There's been a lot of racial violence, anti-Asian hate, anti-Black hate, and how is this making you feel? And what are things that you've been feeling as an ally, and what are things that you can do as an ally to our communities?
I think the number one for me has been to educate myself. A lot of what I have learned in the past was in the context of school or a book we had to read, versus really digging deep and really finding out the deeper story of other people's experience. Because it's not an experience that I can directly relate to with my white privilege. And so I've attended talks and conversations, and having those conversations, bringing them up with people, even though it's kind of uncomfortable, and maybe you're going to say something that might not feel good to someone, like that's a concern, but you need to go in to correct it, to be open to be corrected, and constantly learning, and constantly engaging, and humbling yourself so that you can rise to the occasion.
That's amazing, Cait. I mean, you've been such a great friend to me through this pandemic and the ups and downs, and you are practicing what you preach, and I really thank you for that very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of which, you sent me a couple of things, some online events that are coming up. For instance, this one. There is an Asian American Federation talk coming up this Tuesday, April 6th at 7 o'clock. A Year of Asian Hate, Where Do We Go From Here? And then, Cait, you also sent me this one. Virtual Town Hall, Anti-Asian Racism, White Supremacy, and Cross-Racial Solidarity. That's happening April 8th, 12:30 to 2 p.m. That's run by Planned Parenthood. And yeah, I mean, and just knowing of having your support has been such a great thing to lean on. As we are dealing with all this isolation and quarantine, just having somebody to talk to and holding space has been so helpful. So thank you.
Likewise, Lisa. Really, it's a two-way street.
Yeah, 100%.
A bridge,
yes,
you might say.
Definitely. Speaking of which, I would like for you to talk about let's see here. Talk about the bridge intro that you designed. Sorry, can you? Sorry, yeah.
No problem.
I had commissioned you to draw the bridge intro logo. Can you talk about your process with that?
Absolutely. So when I'm collaborating with someone, especially with a vision that's as specific as a logo, I really like to show the step-by-step process. So I did a bunch of sketches and sent them to you. And I started with the bridge, obviously. That's the iconic image. And we're talking specifically about the Williamsburg Bridge. So I had a framework to go off of. And the quick sketches that I did had so much life to them, which quick sketches often do. And that feels alive, right? More so than doing a really detailed, perfect little bridge. The quick stroke reminds me of Jess, right? Yes. We're just improvising. It's just in the moment. It's quick. It's just happening.
It's reactive. You have to just almost barf out the notes.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So thinking about those quick motions and trying to solidify that from the pencil sketch into ink sketch. And then the next piece was I wanted to bring in the Lisa Lu tarot goddess. And the moon came up. I was playing around with the sun and playing around with different vibes. But I was like, the cycles of the moon, right? And the way that the moon has this amazing feminine energy, which I love. And so I just proposed it to you, and it felt like a perfect fit. So I put the moons on top, and then I added those lines underneath to show the water, which also the synergy with the moon, right? And the way that they move together, also like jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way that the tides move, responding. And then I put the title at the bottom, found a nice bold print, and voila.
Voila.
And then the happy mistake, of course, was scanning it, and the ink reflected a little bit. So it had a little bit of that print quality, which I love. Again, it has that like quick stamp.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that you really nailed the vibe of the show. So thank you so much for doing that.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So here we are. We're embarking on spring and early summer, and people are getting vaccinated. What is your ideal musical life and art life? Like, what do you think that's going to look like, and how do you want it to look like?
That's something that I've been thinking a lot about, and I think a lot of musicians are feeling this way too. Is the excitement of going back to having a gigging life, and also wanting to hold on to some of the more internal aspects of this time. You know, for me, it's been a nice balance with the stretching in the morning and the yoga, the stretching, the journaling.
You're stretching your mind. You're stretching your mind.
Stretching my mind.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have this routine, and it flows really easily for me. So I'm trying to think now about, okay, how does the music come back into it? And I'd say the two main things that I miss are traveling and swing dance events. So when I put that together, I want to travel and sing at swing dance events. That's what I'm putting out there. Is like, this is what I want to do. But you know, the day-to-day in the city, I want some nice gigs around town, ideally with a sound system. That's so nice. So I'm not lugging my amp everywhere, up and down the stairs. With all the snow this winter, I was so happy that it snowed this winter, because I was picturing myself with that little cart going up and down the subway stairs.
Oh my God, totally. Yeah.
Oh, I was really grateful not to do that.
Yeah. That was one silver lining, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, Cait, I mean, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for being on The Bridge and sharing your amazing music and art. And I hope a lot of people go out and listen and buy your album. I love being here with you because I think your arrangements are incredible. You sing your heart out, as everyone had saw in the video, and I think you should be really proud of it. It's an amazing piece of work.
Thank you so much. I am really proud of it. I'm really excited to share it.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you also, one last time, tell us where people can check out your music and where people can check out your art?
Absolutely. So my art website is CaitJonesArt.com. Cait is C-A-I-T, Cait. And then for my music, I'm on Bandcamp at Cait Critters. Again, C-A-I-T, and spelled out Critters. That's on Instagram. That's on Facebook. I'm going to have some giveaways coming up, which I'm really excited about. To thank you for buying the album. I actually will be doing a little giveaway of a drawing of you, similar to this one that I did for my album. So please follow me on the social medias, and then you'll know how to enter. It's going to be really easy. And then you get a bunch of free crap. And I mean, great stuff. Music, t-shirts, art. I'm excited. I want to give back to you for giving to us musicians during this time. So I'm excited to do that. So follow me, Cait with the Bears.
Amazing, Cait. Well, I hope a lot of people go and visit you because your art, whether it's music or visual art, is amazing. And thank you so much for being here. I'm Lisa
Thank you,
Liu.
Lisa.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Lisa Liu. This is Cait Jones, and this is The Bridge. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and I will let you know when the next interview will be happening. Until then, stay safe and sane, everybody. Take care.